Oh, hey! Happy Saturday. Long weekend here in the States. I think it's just a regular weekend for Canada. Ooh, that intersection is so terrible. That's pretty rough. We haven't done any fine tuning yet. It's okay. What do you expect? It has been a while. I'll get into that a little bit. Just a regular 2-day short weekend. 4-day work week when, please. It's enough. Give us a little bit more time. For ourselves, family and friends. Maybe just some city building. It doesn't matter. Just not work. Okay. Let me see here. So tonight, MIT, which is technically not Boston, but that's okay. It's technically Cambridge across the river. But it's an important piece of the landscape because we do need to build that other side of the river at some point and feather things off. Well, no, you'd still get paid the same. That's the thing. You'd get paid a living wage. Imagine that. We can dream. It's a little discombobulated if you're just joining. This is New Boston. Building a pretty decent facsimile of Boston. It's not perfect, but it's better than I expected. Do I still have I still have this one. You ready for this? Here's what I'm building versus what the actual city looks like. It's pretty decent. I got the shape of the Charles River wrong. My Charles River is not big enough. But the street layout is pretty decent. I think we're getting there. Let's take a look at what we're building. So, bear with me. This button, that button, and then F11. Okay. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, private research university in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Massachusetts. I murdered that. Okay. So the body of water that you see right here, this is the Charles River. Love that dirty water. Boston to the south and Cambridge to the north. If we pivot the camera around a little bit here. Does WASD work? It does. It's very cities controls. You got to love it. This is the main campus building right here. You can see this is Mass Ave. This is Mass Ave coming in from Boston. Comes across into Cambridge, and you're basically at the MIT campus. Now, if we wanted to really have some fun with it, we'd have one little segment of, I guess technically tunnel, but we wouldn't want a tunnel, so we would just bridge over a depressed road, I think is the way to do that. Over here, look at this. This is America. So baseball field. Well, baseball, softball, whatever. I don't know. There is a building over here. Where is it? There it is. This is a Frank Gehry building. If you know the Guggenheim, it is wacky. It is pretty amazing. I've got a picture of it here. Hold on a second. I got a couple pictures of it. That is on the MIT campus. And then this one as well is a second angle at it. But they're pretty wild buildings. That's the plan. That's what I'm going to be working on tonight is a college campus over by the water. Yet another baseball field. So let's go see what we can do. Did Frank Gehry die recently? No. No, I hate to see the was. That's the worst word to see in Wikipedia. Oh, December 5th, 2025 at 96. Man, what a legend. Some people, he's probably a love-or-hate thing. Like, some people look at buildings like that and think like that's just obnoxious, but in practice, when it is done right, it's pretty amazing to see. Like, you will never forget the first time you drive by this building or walk by this building in Cambridge. Like, it's so different from everything out there. I don't know if I like blocked it out, but yeah. Frank Owen Gehry was Canadian American architect. 96, pretty good run. We can all hope for that. Okay, let's get this out of here and that out of here. And we'll put the sun back in the sky and take a look at what we're working on here. It's obnoxious, but really cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to sit in that space. So what do we have here? We have Mass Ave coming across the river, connecting into Storrow Drive, which I haven't renamed yet. For those of you that know the Back Bay, all of this is named. So Beacon, Marlborough, the Double Com Ave with the park running up the middle. Then we've got Newbury and Boylston. Boylston has tram tracks. We're preparing a little bit for the future. We haven't set up the trams yet, but they're going to carry tram service across. I figured we'd bring it all the way across here, and I've got it running up into like I guess that would be like the Medford area, Cambridge and Medford. But I'm thinking of bringing it here to the college campus as well. This other road is what, the Longfellow Bridge from Beacon into Cambridge. I believe that's the Longfellow. So I want to figure out how to connect all that together. But the campus itself is going to sit basically right in this wedge right here. We're taking some liberties, you know. We've got a regular shaped baseball park, for example, because we can't really do custom assets, unfortunately. Let's see what our water problem is. Probably just like a little bits that don't have, that just don't have connection. Was that it? That was the only one that was complaining about water. Yes. It's not availability. It was just that the pipe wasn't running there. This is a little too easy listening for me. Let me see. I got it on the beat, on random beats on Epidemic. I didn't have it on shuffle, did I? I did not have it on shuffle. Okay. It's New Boston. We can improvise. Exactly. If some of it wasn't made up in a mess, based on the necessity of a whim at any given moment, then it wouldn't truly be Boston. I do like how the common came out. I do need to decorate it more. I spent a little bit of time lining some bushes here and there to start to give it a feel of a more fleshed out park. The tree render distance, unfortunately, the lot is rough, but that's okay. All right. So let's see. We've got, where's the universities? What are our options here? We can do a trade school, a liberal arts, or a university. And what do they have? Does one of them have a school of engineering, science, medicine, and law, economics, environmental, education, engineering? So trade school it is. Okay, can I plop this down first, independent of an area? We'll be a little loose with our zone. We'll tighten it up after. We'll claim that whole area by the coast there, the Charles. Let me see here. Where is... Oh, Pencil. Pencil is at it. And we'll just MIT for now. Okay. What can we get in? Are we... Technically, we've unlocked everything, so we can just kind of go for it, right? Let me take a peek over here and see... So we got to get a couple buildings in on that main campus, and it's going to be just to the right of Mass Ave. I should probably come across this way with the sports, like IRL. So we'll go a little bit to the left of there and do track and field and a couple baseball fields. All right, let's extend our zone a little bit now before I forget that. Hope everybody's week is well. I've been up and down a little bit. If you follow close, you may have seen me schedule a stream and then mention a stream and then not do those streams. So I'm pretty open about my mental health. I took a break for like a year in 2021. Was it 2021? And I was like tapped. I was depressed. It turned out that I was also bipolar, and I've been now for a year on some new meds that have, you know, it doesn't fix everything that's wrong with me, but I have been much more stable from a bipolar perspective, like from it's bipolar 2, I should say, which is not as extreme as bipolar in terms of the grandeur and mania, but there is a concept of hypomania, and I feel incredibly creative when that comes on and then crash incredibly hard like a week later, and that's kind of where I am at. I haven't had that feeling in over a year because since I've been on these new meds, I think it was February last year that I started. So it's very weird to be back in this state and just kind of, I'm just so spent and crashed. We'll get a couple dorms in here. Wrong area type. Did I jump schools? What? Which one has did I not come over to the trade school? Trade school has engineering. Okay, I put the wrong building type down. So yeah, so I will start the day rip roaring, ready to go and wanting to stream, and then by like 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'm just like, I've convinced myself not to. Okay, so if let's see how far up this road needs to go. We'll move this on the side of the road. Where's the... Right there. So where do we do a road on the other side of that? Will it let me do that? It doesn't matter the road type. It matters the road size right now. So let's see. We'll put that there. We'll bring this road all the way through. What is that going to do here? We'll try that. Oh, no. Don't do that to me. I should have hooked this road in. Oh my God, that's awful. So there. And then this road can curve into there. That's fine. It's the wrong road, but that's fine. This one, grab that, upgrade, just for the size. It's just for the size. Wait for inspiration to hit. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's It's up because I want to. I feel like, oh, I gotta stream later. I'm feeling super creative and passionate. And for like the first 4 or 5 days, that feeling is strong throughout the day. In fact, I need almost no sleep. I can get by in like 2 or 3 hours of sleep for like 4 or 5 days in a row. And then when that cycle ends and it crashes, oh my God, is it a crash? But I still feel that creativity in the early day until the midday crash, which doesn't happen that first 4 to 7 days. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. Okay, so if we bring this down, let's see, how wide are these? So let's look at that. If we do a regular road, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's plenty if we do that. Let's come off of here. Let's see if that, no, okay, hold on. We'll do this. We will meet this road here. I don't know why I'm doing this with one-way industrial, but we are. We're going to change that in a minute. And then we'll bring this over here. This is my, no, I gotta do the curve after. Okay. This song's a no. Hopefully we can bring that through. Let's see. This is gonna be a little bit of a wonky intersection, but that's okay. That's definitely okay in Boston. Okay, so we'll come out straight. And then we'll just, do we just bend it? Like straight up bend it like that? I think that's okay. And then we'll do this. We'll come up through here. And we'll tighten this on that road. Don't mind the one-ways. Those are going away. Actually, one-ways might stay, but the... I am placing it roadside. What do you complain about? That it's on top of itself? So right... No, don't connect to the node. Come on. Come on now. That should work right there. And then we come down with this and we bring this over and now we build ourselves a little custom courtyard. Look at that. Okay, we're cooking. We're cooking with beef tallow because that's what the government recommends now. Red meat at the top of the food pyramid again. Anybody hear about this? Red meat food pyramid. Where is it? So Health and Human Services, RFK Jr., just recommended a new dietary food pyramid, the Food and Drug Administration in the US. And red meat is at the top. Like, we should eat lots of red meat according to the federal government. Which don't get me wrong, I love me some steak. But I also know that you need to do it in moderation. And in general, especially if you have kidney stones, don't get old, kids. But animal protein is really bad for kidney stones. So you got to balance out your protein intake. It can't just be all animal, and it shouldn't be all red meat. That's terrible. All right, so we can ditch some of these roads now. I think that works. That could work. Can't keep up anymore? Well, don't worry. It'll be part of the citizenship test after we're done invading Greenland. It's insanity right now. I don't even understand what is happening. I don't get it. Okay, what are we gonna do for power over here? Is that fire? No, there's no fire. There's no fire. We're good, Patton. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Electricity. Should we do a nice little... Okay, so if we go to there, can we go right there? Right there, it's a little high. Can we not? Does this have an elevation step? It probably does, right? Can we run that along the river? Okay. What if we do that? And then can we come over this road with no clicks? Because it's raised once? Okay, perfect. That's not terrible. It works for now. It gets power across the river. We should be fine. It's fine. Okay, we will go off of this, and I'm going to go one more out. But the Cambridge grid quickly peels off of the Charles. So we'll bring this over here. We're not really worried about money in this build, so... Oh, speaking about not being worried about money in builds, I think I'm at 922 million on River Run. So if I let that run in the background, I think... Honestly, tomorrow, like maybe a billion Monday stream for the US holiday. And if you saw on my channel, I posted a community post, and 1 billion is now on the graph in the money charts. Like when you come into city info and statistics and look at we have an infinite line here. The top of my graph says 1 billion, and like the zeros are in the middle of this first grid, like in the top left. I just realized I'm using my mouse to point, but you guys can't see the mouse. Yeah, so anyways, we're getting close. CS2 road, water, power is nice. Yes, the road tools, first of all, are great. It's definitely a nice upgrade for how it lets you blend the roads together and curves and adjust and like how you want the road merges to happen. Like it's very flexible. And then having the power and the water in the road network where you don't have to run those things separately is nice. Although there is still plenty of this if you're building something modern in America, where I think the majority of neighborhoods would overwhelmingly be exposed power lines. But I do know of neighborhoods around that have buried them, but they're fairly few, just from a accessibility standpoint of the current infrastructure. What are we doing at 1 billion? We are saving the game and causing a bunch of disasters, AC. And then at some point I will reload and start giving back to the community and finalizing the build. Like I've been reluctant to move too much stuff around just because I don't want to affect the balance. I just want to make me the money, show me the money, and then we can let everybody have fun. But yeah, I'm going to round out some of the neighborhoods. Like I think River Run's going to be my most finished city. Just in terms of the build, like I'm kind of happy where the framework of it is now, but I definitely want to do some more to decorate and structure it. Okay, let's upgrade everything back to regular roads, because right now some of this is just not even accessible. And then we'll get some of our other school buildings in, and we'll look at some sports facilities too off to the left. This is our thing tonight, MIT. We're going to build a big university campus. What's your first disaster going to be, AC? And is it the Coline Francesi that's getting it? Country area on River Run? Ever finish? Oh, like in the top, like the... Yeah, I gotta figure something out there. I gotta figure out what to do. We just got letters this morning about overhead cables connecting to a new battery bank. Yeah, like a lot of places are not done with overhead overground power lines. But it is legitimately, it looks beautiful when you see a neighborhood without power lines. It's wild. Like there's street lamps coming out of the ground, but you don't see anything connecting them, and it's very different. It has a much more old world feel, where like Cambridge, Beacon Hill. It was only 2015. I think it was only in 2015 or 2016 when the street lamps in Beacon Hill went cut over from gas. Now they're LED, but they were gas street lamps. So like actual flame lighting a little bag on fire, essentially, of burning fuel. Like, it's kind of wild to think that was still a thing in Beacon Hill in 2015. Yeah, till a massive snowstorm, and then all the cables get weighed down with ice. We, at least in the Northeast, do a really good job at maintaining around the lines. Like, they do a good job of cutting trees so that the trees don't get weighed down. One year, though, if you're a New Englander, you may remember a blizzard we got in 2011 on Halloween. So before the tree crews had come round and, you know, cut all the dangerous trees, we got this crazy blizzard and ice storm. And it was a ton of ice that weighed down the trees, took out power lines everywhere, all over New England. And there was just mass power outages. And it wasn't that a power plant was out, it was that they had to go street to street and reconnect and rebuild line segments. It was crazy. I was fortunate enough at the time to live on like a main street. The street had a name, but it was also like basically a route number. It's like the old road that ran parallel to the highway. So I got power back like third day. The like blocks of houses behind me, like literally my neighbor behind me, I had power on the third day. They were still out on day 8. It was like day 9 by the time they got their power back, which is just insane. Insanely lucky for me that I was on the main street. But like, imagine just being one house away and just being completely disconnected from electricity for a week. It was pretty dire times. Okay, let me see. Let's break this road. In fact, we can break this because this was only spaced out to see what would fit there. Killed the power for weeks. Had a generator, yeah. That's crazy, yeah. When you were kind, yeah, I figured it was when you were a kid, not when you were kind. Okay. Still kind. We've got 2 dormitories just kind of sitting here on the central building. Let's see what else we got and what makes sense where. So we've got a study hall. We've got groundskeeping. We're going to want to find spots for all these. We'll start to put them down here and then insert them where they might go. Still kind sometimes, yeah. Okay, that's the cafeteria. We want that somewhere where people live. I guess we can see the names on these, can't we? Okay. I'm reluctant, but I mean, here's the thing. Like if we want to go prestigious, which definitely MIT is, we kind of have to decorate it with all the things. Which one is this? The library. It's the big buildings that we really got to make space for. Does this count as being in the campus area? It doesn't. Okay. This does though. Okay, commencement. How is education in Canada? I mean, I'm sure you must have private universities as well, but how's like national education if you just like stick to public school? Okay, auditorium. Okay, laboratories. Now we get into some big buildings here. There's so many buildings. Oh my God. When does this stop? Okay, here we go. Here are the big ones. Here are the big ones. We running out of room? Yeah, we are running out of room. What the heck? Okay. Police Academy, you go here, learn how to be a statey. You knock some punks on the head when they come out of the Sox game. So we get that for drinking too much and wearing a Yankees jersey in town. Get the hell out of here, kid. Okay, School of Tourism. And then the one that we really want is the School of Engineering. So we got to figure out how to slot that in. I think like right here probably. I should probably move this stuff around. So let's do this. Because that was the last building. Yes, okay. But yeah, bigger infrastructure means more can go wrong, but okay, let's see. Let's put this right next to Can we do that? We can do that. Or we don't want to do it that way, do we? No. Let's not do that. Let's come on the other side of this building. If we do that, can we come all the way through? And that way we can bring this down. That becomes a little side street. Can we? I can't place that without that menu in the way. That's annoying. Okay, we got the dorms in there. This is what, the study hall? We should bring some of those really essential buildings in here. Oh, Northern Ireland? Here in Northern Ireland, damn, you are up late, are you not? Are you? It's got to be 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning? 3:30 in the morning? What time is it? 2:30. What are you an hour behind GMT? Best times. Wish you'd stayed. I don't blame you. I love Canada. 2:30. Okay, I was right the first time. That is GMT, right? Thunder Bay's beautiful. I don't think I've been. I've been to Ontario a few times. I've been to Toronto once. I've been to Montreal a bunch. I love Montreal. I love the old city in Quebec. Let's see, what will this do? Will that let me connect? That will let me do that, but then I can't get there. So can we do this? That works. We can even make that a one-way if we wanted that to flow traffic that way. Montreal, Quebec are cool in the summer at night, yeah. Oh, Adia, what's going on? I'm sorry. I think I missed. Happy belated birthday, Adia. Was it? It was this week, was it not? What's all this Canadian gushing I'm walking into? I do come from a incredibly French Canadian family. Like, we are thick French Canadian. I learned how to swear in French before English watching the Bruins with my grandparents, and then they were like, "Screw it, he already knows all his swears in French. Let's give him the English too. He's 5." C words, R words, you name it. A lot of anger came out in 1980s Bruins, especially when they were playing the Canadians. We had some great players, but never like a great team all at once. We had some legends, but 2 retired numbers for most of my childhood. Cam Neely at right wing and Ray Bourque at left defense. And we had some, I loved the Andy Bogue, Reggie Lemlin days too in goal. But like we never, I mean, we had Rick Middleton, we had Don Sweeney, like, we never had a great lineup all at once. It was like, we got a good line, but they needed to rest once in a while. And then we were screwed. For the longest time, like I didn't know that the game of hockey could be played other than, like, I thought the rules were you had to dump the puck into the zone and then slam somebody in boards as hard as possible. But apparently that's just how the Bruins have been taught to play hockey since the 1920s. But there was a point in my childhood when I was like 4 or 5 when I thought like that was the rule, that you dump the puck into the zone from the neutral zone, slam it into the backboards, and then just go murder whoever went near it into the glass. Because that's how the Bruins played and still play to this day, honestly. Oh yeah, sure. We could do some Ireland slang, some swear slang. I'm okay with that. It's always good to broaden the mind. 14 of us, and just because I haven't done this in a while, I think membership gifting. Yeah, I got 10 to give this month because I haven't gifted any yet. So here's 5 memberships. If you are a member, you do have to subscribe to use the emotes in chat. Just because I don't want to get a lot of bot spam, so there you go. 5 new members. It's free. You don't have to renew, obviously. It's not forcing you into anything. It really just gives you the ability to do emotes in chat if you're a subscriber. So welcome. If there's a big fire or anything and you want to drop a Helmo or a Herald in Pain, those are both optional. We're working on Boston. I guess I should take a step back for those of you that are new. If you're familiar with the area, it's pretty decent. I will show it because I showed it before, but here is a fade from the real city to what I am working on. And we're working in the top left across the Charles River on MIT, but you can see actual Boston fading back and forth between, well, at least the build a few weeks ago. I've done a little bit of building in this one. So some of these neighborhoods are a little bit more filled out, but the crazy streets are there for a reason because they are absolutely crazy streets in real life. Never get the gifted membership because you already got the membership. You can't get the gifted membership. You already got one. So let me see here, but that's what we're working on. I don't remember where exactly we did. I do remember we did the north end first, and the north end is really tight, tiny 1700s row housing. Like it is jam packed, which is exactly what we've done up here. We've got the crazy downtown area, Boston Common, the first park in the United States. Beacon Hill, one of the other oldest neighborhoods and one of the hilliest parts of Boston. Boston was built up, like a lot of this land didn't exist. It was filled in. They shaved a couple mountains in the area and used other surrounding gravel, brought it in via train. They even used landfill and trash to fill in some of the area, which is kind of gross to think about, but it's been built up over a very small peninsula. And this is one of the hills that most of it remained. It did get cut down quite a bit, but you can see how that all slants uphill towards the back of what is called Beacon Hill, Boston Common, and kind of government center, like where the State House is. All that stuff is going to be up here. Back Bay is like really flat and grid-like, and this was a mid 1800s expansion to hold the wealthy voters in the city. There's a documentary coming at some point, and there's a pretty dark history, unfortunately, with I mean, way back Italian and Irish racism, black racism, redlining, where they built the highway through these neighborhoods for this elevated central artery, which one of the things we'll be doing is burying this underground in what was called the Big Dig, one of the most expensive infrastructure project in the United States ever. It went way over time and way over budget, and it was a big mess. And Boston was like, this ride through here was like a gravel yard. It was just, it was so disgusting for like most of my teenage years doing this drive on that segment. It was wild. I'm shooting for 2026. I have actually done quite a bit of writing. Maybe on like a member stream or something, I'll share out my my Evernote docs. But I've got a bunch of separate chapters and I'm trying to figure out how to structure it. And the problem is like there's parts that I have much longer stories I want to tell. For example, this is fascinating. Do I have my camera plugged in? I don't. Hold on a second. Sorry, I gotta activate it and stuff. I'm unprepared here. Studio mode. Webcam. And then deactivate to reactivate. And then it should like jump and look at. There we go. And I gotta turn my lights back up because I'm like sitting in the dark here and let it focus. Hello, welcome. This is wait, hold on. Now hello, welcome. Wait. In game. Okay, there we go. Hello. This is one of the things that I am having the absolute toughest time with is the central artery was built in the 50s. And this is a very common thing. So this happened in a lot of cities. Tear apart the city, move a bunch of people out in some really dodgy ways, right? And expand highways through the city. And then what they were going to do, sorry, I'm jumping back and forth between mouse and keyboard. What they were going to do is this beltway that I am building in to the city. It was another beltway that was going to cut through Jamaica Plain and Roxbury, Dorchester, Alston, Brighton, Cambridge, a lot of working class neighborhoods. And after seeing the devastation that ripping a highway through the city did, no one wanted to rip another beltway through the city. They saw what happened from the first one and it wasn't a big benefit. So this book in particular has been amazing. There's a couple good ones that I dug up, but this is People Before Highways, Boston activists, urban planners, and a new movement for city making. And it's all focused around the story of what led up to, man, we're approaching the anniversary. This huge protest that won the governor over, the new governor, January 25th, 1969. And this is a story of a bunch of people that were all related and all the incidents that led up to that. I got this one too. This one was really tough to find. This one is beat to crap. I actually had to hit it with a little bit of Clorox. I am allergic to mold, and I'm pretty sure there was some mold on it. This is an old used book. This one is called Rights of Way, The Politics of Transportation in Boston and the U.S. City. And one of the main contributors is this guy right down here, Alan Lupo, and he was a writer for the Boston Globe in the 60s and 70s. And this is all first-person accounts of people that were part of that movement. So some really cool stuff. And I've got a bunch of other books that I've dug up that are just in general. One that I would highly recommend if you are interested in any of this crap that I am rambling on about is Jane Jacobs' The Death and Life of the Great American City. This is another one that really explores, again, how we zoned wrong thinking for cars and dividing, like, put commercial over here, put industrial over here, put residential over here. Didn't put any thought into how people would get from A to B to C. It was more just about separating it based on the need, and it wasn't the right way to do it, unfortunately. Took us way too long to figure that out, though. Is the cover pink? I don't think so. Which one? You know what? It is gray and faded, so that may come across. This one may come across. This book is, it's not beat up, but it is weathered. Like, it's in good shape, but it definitely had a little bit of moisture wherever it was stored. Oh, am I not switching? Oh my god, oh my god. I was in studio mode and I'm not switching any of these. I'm just talking about them. It's over here. So this is the People Before Highways book, Caitlin Crockett. This one's fantastic. Again, this is about the protest, or what led up to, and the events immediately after the protest of January 25th, 1969 in Boston. Again, it is Boston activists, urban planners, and a new movement for city making. The other one that was absolutely beat up is the one I was talking about. Is Rights of Way, The Politics, Transportation in Boston and the U.S. City. Alan Lupo for the Boston Globe, writer from the 60s and 70s. I mean, there's even some interviews and photos that were in the paper at the time in the various articles. See a photo of the television, how old that is. And then, not Boston specific, but just generally highways tearing into American cities. The Death and Life of Great American Cities by Jane Jacobs is, I've heard people talk about it again and again and again, and I took a quick perusal through like the first chapter. I got so many books I'm balancing right now, but that one is probably third, because I'm working on People Before Highways. I'm probably gonna do Rights of Way after that, and then Death and Life of Great American Cities. Anyways, that's what I've been reading. Is a lot of books on Boston. Okay. Yeah, we need remote production, AC. It's just, I make too many mistakes. So anyways, this beltway here is the highway they were going to build. They wanted more beltways connecting to the main Mass Pike coming in from the west, and then 93 coming north to south, technically 95 as well. And they wanted to build this beltway, but it's one thing like when you build it ahead of time, which is what we're doing here. So we're exploring what that beltway might have been, but we're not tearing apart neighborhoods to do it. And that's an important thing. It's an important bit of history, unfortunately, in the American city, that because of cars, the car industry, gas and oil, there was a huge push to expand. Everybody's going to want a car. Everybody's going to want to drive everywhere. Everybody's going to want a white picket fence and 2.4 kids and a dog and a cat. So that was the dream. Dream is dead, but that's not important. Anyway, so I started dropping in this beltway, put a couple crazy interchanges in there, and I'm going to connect that back through once I figure out kind of where Cambridge ends, back up into the central area here. This will come across into East Boston, and we'll put a casino over here somewhere, which is where the Encore in Everett is sitting. Or actually, is it up here technically? I think it's up here technically. And then we'll work on, I think I'm actually going to do an airport. We'll see if it comes true. And we've got to hook this highway up actually somehow, maybe into here. We'll tunnel under into the industrial, and we'll make that connect up right there most likely. We've got to do farming over here, bring these skyscrapers in. There's so much. There's so much to do. So anyways, those are the books. I don't know. I'm geeking out on this. I've you know, that might be part of the bipolar too, the impulsive spending, but at least and the focus and research on a particular topic, that's definitely the autism, but I think it's going to result in a good documentary. Transmission finally died for a 2008 Rogue. That's the thing, right? That's why we have Honda and Toyota, because they last. But it's a shame when it does die. Transmissions aren't cheap to fix. And like, if you were someplace else in the country, it would probably be worth it. But like, you know what road salt does to our cars up here in the Northeast. So like, the transmission probably isn't the only thing that would be worth fixing at this point. Pittsburgh area mass transit, that could be tough, huh? Boston's getting better, but it suffers from a huge problem of being spoken hub, and there's no beltway around it. In part because in the 70s, everybody pushed back on the Beltway Highway, and they were like, okay, we'll invest into mass transit instead. Except they forgot to do that second part. They just canceled the Beltway and then never fixed the train cars. We had train cars we bought for the Orange Line that didn't fit the tracks, and they derailed a bunch of times until they modified them. There's not anything to worry about or anything. Oldest park in America, oldest subway in America. And we are finally we have a guy named Phil Eng who is like kind of redesigning and restructuring and making it run on time again and be reliable and extend hours. Everything that you need if the transmission on your 2008 Nissan Rogue dies. You need a reliable way to get to work. It can't be like, oh, sorry, red line's closed today. If you're coming from the north, you just can't get into the city. Have a nice day. And then the network becomes not about supporting people that need it, but it becomes a convenience mechanism for people. Because like if that's not a reliable way to get to work, you have to come up with another way to get to work. Some people just start driving again. But if you don't have a car, you can't really do that. So work from home, grocery delivery, Xbox Game Pass. Why do I need to leave? Nice. I know, it's not like you got a kid to cart around. She's off doing her thing. Speaking of, she's at college. We should probably work on ours. This is the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Thanks for hanging out on a Saturday with me. If you're new here, subscribe and you can join the chat. Or if you're just, you know, I get it. The subscription fee doesn't really matter, but I do subscribe to channels still. One, if you want to interact in chat, but two, it's more likely to show stuff up in your feed. I haven't used a subscription feed in over a decade. It's totally useless. Okay, we got the School of Engineering is the only thing that I feel really confident about now. Was that really as close? No, that's not as close as that goes. What was I doing here? What is this? What is this all about? Oh no, are you serious? Is it gonna be a jerk? Can I do this? How is that? How is that? Like, what is wrong with that? Why is it obviously is not in those squares since those squares are zonable? I guess I did it over here for a reason, huh? Yeah, if you doesn't make the homepage, yeah, it's not like it's not a sub feed is not a good way. Especially, I guess that's the thing. If you sub to a lot of channels, which I do, and a lot of people did, because that was the way you found things. But they've really broken that system. It is not about and this is a problem. I know I was going to start building the school again, but anyways, let me rant for a minute. This is a problem with social media in general. It has been sacrificed to the algorithm. So if you look at something like Instagram when it came out, majority of the time, people would spend following friends, their pictures, their shares. And over time, it became about catching more and more of your time to show you more and more ads in the feed. And it is not at all about, I think the number was less than 10% of time spent on Instagram today is actually following any somebody you know. It's about influencers and ads and brands. It has completely shifted. And the Shorts algorithm does the same thing. The YouTube homepage does the same thing. It is shifted to an algorithm that they control to keep you watching the platform longer. It's unfortunate. I still think my home feed does a good job most of the time, but you can tell every couple months, like your home feed gets wonky and it's like, what did you guys do to the algorithm? Like you were doing all right. Maybe like you were sad that I was watching a little less and then you decided to throw like the stupidest videos in my feed where I just don't watch for a couple days. Or I go watch something that I'd watched 100 times, watch it over again instead of going to look for something new because they just bust the algorithm. You probably experienced it. You know what I'm talking about. Gazebo with the many paths. Don't those need to be placed on roads? That is in Boston Common. That is the this is a park gazebo, I believe. Right? If I go into parks, I don't know what the song is, but it's too intense for me. Park tools. Yeah, it's a park. It's a park object with a park path or a pedestrian path, which is okay for those. I'm spreading power with the occasional, whatever this thing's called, earthquake sensor. It's inside a park, yes. There is, though, an option, I think, if we come into props now. Isn't there a gazebo we can do? Yeah, like you could do this. You could do that gazebo anywhere you want. That doesn't have to be next to anything, path or road or anything. But it's not quite as impressive. And I don't know if people inhabit it. I don't know if it's an activity people actually do. Where you can see here, like there's people actually at the. They are really crammed in here. Like, can you? I forget the word. My wife's going for her master's and she's got the DSM, diagnostics and. Wow, I should know what that. What the hell? Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, which, by the way, is terrible to have in the house for a hypochondriac like myself, because I found out recently that I have everything. But there is, I forget, what is the term? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Term for. Froterism. Froderistic disorder. Some of these people in this gazebo here have Froderism, which is someone who rubs themselves against others in public for gratification. And it has to be non-consensual, by the way, by definition. And I'm pretty sure some of those people in here are into that because they're standing way too close to one another. So you've learned a couple phrases today: Froderism and Froderistic disorder. Or a Froderist. So there you go. You've learned something today. Not something that you wanted to learn, but there you go. Think about that every time you see a homunculus waiting at a bus stop. Just a bunch of Froderists. I don't know how I feel about the staggered flower boxes over here, but I'm just trying some different things out. They apparently don't like the noise over here, but they can move out because these are some of the most expensive bits of real estate in all of Boston. So if you don't like it, maybe you should move. And we'll cut your apartment in half and sell it for $1.2 million for 2,800 square feet. Okay, MIT? All right, where do we bring this thing over maybe? We'll put the... Did I not make the School of Engineering over here? Oh my God. What did I put over here? The Police Academy? I built everything around the Police Academy? Come on. And now I don't have room to fit this in over here? You'll let me put it against the bridge like that though? Okay. All right, well, this was fun. This was fun to not make progress yet. Just make sure. Okay. Can we get... Oh, we can get right on the edge of that one now. But we'll have to do the same thing over here where we'll curve the road in. So to the edge of the zone. And then, nope. Right there to there. That's kind of frustrating with that little strip of grass there. Can we? I don't suppose we can do this, can we? No, that's part of the... That's... You have to... So, like, what? Who designs this, honestly? Let's have pavement all the way to the edge on 3 sides and then a strip of grass with no bushes or anything in it. What is wrong with you? Who? Who did this? Who did this? I want a name. I want them fired. Oh, you were already all fired, Colossal Order. I forgot. Because of stuff like this. Come on. Attention to detail. It's the first thing I want to fix when I put it down. Let me nudge that over because obviously it's not far enough because there's concrete on every side of the building except this one. Too soon? No, I've been calling for that since October of 2023. Technically, I've been calling for it before that because I knew the trash that they were about to release, but I couldn't say anything until October 19th, 2023. I'm sorry, but like... That was a rough release. But am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. Like, look, that should be fixed. No, I'm not wrong. Okay, look. Okay, my wife just walked in to let the dog out. Fresh opinion. Fresh opinion, okay? Here's a building. School of Engineering. You see how, like, it's pavement right up to the road?
Why are there parking spaces?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry. Yeah, there shouldn't be parking in Boston, I know. But right up to the edge of the road, concrete. You see over here?
Yeah, why is there grass?
Why is there that grass strip there? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Why is there concrete on all sides? One strip of grass. What do you want to put on it? How about nothing?
Well, I guess that's where people from MIT's dogs can go to the bathroom. But why are there parking spots over the grass? You have to drive over the grass.
Well, you'd probably drive up here, I guess, on this strip, but there's no driveway.
Curb.
And there's a curb here between these parking spots.
Maybe they're expecting four-wheelers. I don't know.
It doesn't make sense, right?
No.
You're not as offended as I am, but it doesn't make sense. You would agree.
Because I think that's for service animals.
Okay. So this is for dog crap, basically, is what my wife thinks. This space is committed to dog crap.
Little doggy black bags you can pick up.
I can't put anything there because it's technically part of the building. I would put some park objects. I can't put a tree, a bush. I can't put anything.
A bench?
Not even a bench.
Well, maybe the people need to have their lunch there.
Wait, hold on. Can we fix it this way? Can we fix it with pavement in the airport? No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
I'm sorry, the game is offensive.
It is offensive. I feel like she's patronizing me.
I'm not. I'm here for you.
She says she's here for me. Can't even put bushes there. Exactly.
Great content.
Great content, she says as she walks out to the porch to let the dog out. She's so supportive. I'm just staring at that. It's maddening. It doesn't make any sense. I kind of want, like, now I want to put a strip of grass that has nothing on it on all sides. She's here for support and to let the dog out. Mostly that second one, AC. She got dragged into that unwillingly. She agrees. She's just not as offended as I am. $440 worth of pipe because we are not madmen. You have water. Shut up. Shut up. Now you have water. Shut up. Okay. Okay, what do we bring over? Now does this fit anymore? There's no way this is the same width, right? This is longer. Or no, it doesn't fit because I have that stupid bend in the road. So what if we do this? And then can we fix this with the airport aprons? Can I overlap these? Ooh, we can. Can I do this? See, like that works. That works a little better. There's still no way of getting to those parking spots without destroying your bumper on the curb. But other than that, I like it. I think it works. Yeah, $440 worth of pipe. We're not Neanderthals. Leaving a gap.
You're still talking about it?
No. We're talking about pipes. She let the dog out, comes back in, and I'm talking about leaving a gap. She thinks I'm still ranting about which is a safe assumption, to be fair.
You're a ranter.
I am a ranter, yes.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so that I think kind of works right there. Which, let's figure out what to do with these roads now. I'm going to move some things around so we can connect. We'll put this out of the way for a moment. And then let's see how these two roads meet up. So why can I not? Why will it not grab that node? Are you serious? What? Why are you going to do? Those are my options? What? Okay, we'll start here. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. That's good. The screaming you do when that happens, nodes can be so frustrating. That's the thing, like, honestly, if they just gave us, if you only had the road tools from CS2 in Remastered, for those of you that only have console and have not experienced CS2, if you only had the road tools, you would pay $10 for that update. I guarantee it. If they gave you like a 5-minute trial, that's all you would need. You'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Just build that into CS1. Don't tell me that that is dependent on a new Unity engine. Them improving the way that roads connect. It's honestly like night and day amazing when you understand that, like, I can just grab a curve and, like, as you curve it into the road, like, it'll be at a much better angle. You can decide, like, do I want these 2 lanes to connect to the 1 lane on the right, or do I want them to merge totally together? Like, I can't even explain, like, you can't understand how flexible it is in comparison until you actually use it. And if they just gave us that, Remastered would be infinitely better. It would be amazing. And I've become a much bigger fan of it than when it was released. But it's got its shortcomings. It's not a perfect city builder. It's just the best one we have on console. They have to break the game to add it in. I mean, they broke. I've shown broken stuff. Even this build, we've had problems with the terrain that cropped up from Remastered. Like, that's what Tantalus is doing. Like, if you want, I don't know. I still see this as money-making potential. You could keep selling building packs. The problem is CS2 went free with the region packs. So, like, you get a ton of variation without having to necessarily pay for anything. And then the stuff that you do pay for, it's 4 trees. They caught a lot of flack for some of the stuff that they put out. It was not impressive packs. The packs are rated pretty bad. Okay, what will fit based on what we have left? Do we have a third? I was gonna say, do we have a large third school? But it's right here, right? We could do that one on this corner. That might work. Let's try that. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. But what are some of the things that we should bring in a little closer? I mean, let me ask you this. Okay, we got a couple console folks in the chat. In fact, you know what? Here, in case anybody is just like, I'm not going to subscribe. We'll see if we get any bots. Stream settings. I mean, if you're just not feeling like chatting, that's fine too. Where do I set that even? I don't know. If you want to chime in, just subscribe and unsubscribe. I don't care. I don't know where to change it. But I'm curious, like, for those of you that have seen CS2 but have not played it, for the console folk, like, what would you like to have in Remastered? Like, I think they could do it. I could change my batteries. Like, it wouldn't be that much of a stretch to improve things like the road tool. You don't have to reinvent the game. You certainly might. I mean, I guess you'd introduce some issues, but, like, you got a whole studio working on it. Playtest the stuff. It's still generating money for you potentially. I think they could reinvigorate the game with just road tools more than anything. I can't think of anything else that they added that you need. Like, you don't need the $60 update to CS2. You need a $10 road tool DLC. And a $10 Mr. Mason Fall Trees DLC. And then I think you'll have everything you need that is available in CS2 today. Because the traffic tools weren't doing anything. Better road tools, but they'd have to include it in remaster at launch. Okay, so you know what? I'm going and breaking the game, but let's say they could pull it off. I'm just wondering, like, what do you feel that you're missing out on in CS2? Road tools. Because here's the problem. I could see them building road tools with less likelihood to break this game, building the road tools into this game or some version thereof, where it, like, maybe anarchy, where you don't, like, I'll let you connect a crazy road not to the node and try and do my best, but maybe like an undo feature, or maybe we just save more often and get used to it. But the thing is like, I could see Tantalus pulling off new road tools in CS Remastered easier than I could see Iceflake pulling off CS2 on console. I'm just gonna call that right now. Let's call balls and strikes. They're about to throw one, and they're gonna like lose their grip halfway through your forward motion, and it is just gonna sail off, like maybe into the stands. Like not even like wild pitch territory, like take a base because it left the play field kind of bad pitch. That's what I'm thinking CS2 on console is going to be, because of how CS2 runs on my 3080 and 10700K. It's slow and it is not fun, and it is pushing, it is gasping for air, at least the way that I want to play it. Just put it on low settings at 580p. No, I'll go play another game. It handles like trash, and it, like, they're not going to do anything. They're going to have to dumb it down to get it on a console. And what is the next Xbox going to be? They already told us it's going to be a PC, and it's going to be expensive. It's a very premium product, and although they didn't directly say it, you have to assume it has a very premium price. So I don't think there's any chance you're going to see an Xbox for at least 2 years because of the RAM shortages. But also, it's just going to be a PC. So just save up for a PC at this point. And the console that you have today is not going to play a fun version of CS2, in my opinion, because it will need mods to fix shortcomings. And it just doesn't have the horsepower to handle what the game can do now, which is why 2 years after launch, it still isn't delivered. There's a reason for it, I'm sure. I was like, it's coming. You're gonna get it next week, is what I heard, and I was excited. I was gonna get to test it early and get the review out, be ready for the embargo with an actual console release, and then nope, we're delaying that console. Oh yeah, how long? Probably springtime. We didn't say what year or who the studio would be and if we'd still be working on it, but you know, it'll be a spring. Yeah, so the Steam machine might be an excellent entry point for probably around that price, AC. Like if you're gonna get a PC, like get one that's gonna be as easy as the console. Nice simple UI you can run from your couch and a controller. I'm not a fan of the Steam controller, but that's useful like if you want to kind of use a mouse trackpad in your hand, which can be useful for some games, but just play games that handle the controller well. And like if you're going to save up for anything, I think the Steam machine is the no-brainer. Steam has a great ecosystem. You can buy so many more games way cheaper during the Steam sales. AC, you're going to buy so many games that you're never going to play. It's going to be amazing. It's called the backlog, and it's the biggest problem on Steam by far. Okay, let me get inspired for a minute here. Do we still have... Did I close the... I probably closed the... No, it's here. Here we go. F11, full screen. So let's take a look. I'm trying to drag I'm watching the same picture you are on my main monitor, and I was trying to move around on that, but the other monitor has the actual controls here. We talked about it earlier, but the Frank Gehry building is right here. Thing's crazy. It looks so cool from the ground. Oh, I've been to a meeting in one of these towers. I don't know which one, but like just like walking through the courtyard here, it is like, it's kind of mind bending. It's really cool. Okay, so we've got kind of we've got our dorms and our main campus area. It kind of folds into the street over here. We've got to get some sports arenas on the other side of Mass Ave. Like, what do they have over here? Little opening, little arena. Holy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 tennis courts. Soccer and lacrosse. I was a lacrosse goalie. We got football, track and field, baseball and softball, and a bunch of pitches to practice. Oh my God, you scared me, kid. Hold on, please. Oh my God, thank you. My daughter found my glasses that have been lost for a week. My favorite pair. Thank you, baby. Awesome job.
Welcome.
High five. Love you, baby. Now.
If you hear that is.
That's you. Awesome find, baby.
Mouse.
Thank you, baby mouse. Found my glasses. She scared me, but she also found my glasses. I lost them like days ago. So the ones I was wearing earlier, these red ones, I get a big head. I don't know if anybody knows. I get a big head. These plastic ones like literally indent the side of my head because there's no flex in them. The pair I had before had these like nice soft rubber ends that would flex around my big skull. These ones though, I finally bought glasses with a spring hinge that open up wider as I need to on my big head, and they're so soft and comfortable. They grab my head, but they don't fall off, but they don't pinch it. They're just the perfect balance. And I put them down someplace, I don't know when, like days ago. And I had to go back to my backup pair. Okay, so let's get some of this stuff in there. Get rid of that. She scared me. I did not hear her coming. She's so quiet. So cool. Yeah, I put them down someplace stupid where I don't usually put them down. And they're black, sitting on a black shelf in the corner of like the dining room. I could not find it. We looked. My wife spent a good half hour or more, longer than she would probably care to admit. Longer than she was willing to admit to me, because I was like, come on, give up. She's like, oh, it's okay, I'll be up. I'm doing something. And something was looking for my glasses for 30 minutes. But we finally found them. I am psyched because, man, these are so much more comfortable. Oh my God. My head just feels better not being constantly pinched. Oh, do we have a commencement happening right now? These are first graduates of MIT going off to be the next Mark Rober. I don't know if he went to MIT. No, he went to BYU. But there are some brilliant, actually, no, Bam, his engineer who designs the toys and the crunch boxes, went to MIT. That's what I'm thinking of, because we just watched a video. My daughter's on a Mark Rober kick. She just wants to watch. I'm totally fine with that. Like, it's way better than some of the brain rock content she watches at 9. So I'm totally excited that she's into that stuff. We got the build crunch box, whatever it is. So we got that coming. We're gonna do some of the engineering projects. I'm excited for her to get into those. Gonna build launcher toys and mirror boxes and things. Okay. Let's bring stuff in. Trade school laboratories. Okay, does this fit on this block? It sure does. This seems like a good way to use some of this space. Let's see. Let's do this. We'll give that 4 grids worth of space. And then let's connect some pasture here. I don't know if they have to be. Well, I know they don't have to be. Let's see what the trade school paths look like. Let's go a little bit past because I want to connect this up. What? Why? Why are your buildings like that? That's so frustrating. Like, there's an empty zone there. But, like, look at the size of the box that's sitting there. Like, it's bigger than the zone that it's allowing you. Man. We could, if we wanted to, like, freeform and not rely on the grid, but... I think that's okay. Is it not going to let me do this, which is what I had the idea? But it will let me do it on that side. Why is it so inconsistent? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's decorate here. Okay, we'll use... What do we use as guides? Road lines? We'll skip 2. Whoops. I want the same size trees. So not that one, not that one. This one. I'm using the space between, so like the empty lines. So the white lines in the road, there's a gap right there, there's a gap right there. Third gap is right about there. So again, gap, gap, and there. But I'm going to try and get all the same size trees. Okay, and then if we go over to Mr. Mason, I've been loving lining the paths with these. And these we can get a little bit more frequent on. We'll allow the different sizes to come into. Let's see, what do we think? I think that's okay. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Good evening, everybody, by the way. Leave a like if you don't mind. It does help. Helps this small channel that will probably never get to 100,000 because City Skylines 2 release tanked. There's still a chance that maybe the console release is going to be tons of fun to play and we can build something back up, but there's probably just another couple rant videos, honestly, coming, and we'll see. Prove me wrong, please, Ice Flake. Please, please, please prove me wrong. But I am so concerned. I don't think there's a lot to save here. What is this building? That's the Trade School Auditorium. That's an interesting shape. Okay, should we bring the commencement over closer? I feel like that should almost be... You know what? Maybe we figure that out over on the sports arena side. Let me take a look at the map again real quick. Okay, so there is a little beltway on the outside that I can think about. There's a little road that runs down here off the main street. But basically, once you get past Is that the eyedropper? Once you get past this little straightaway here on the left of Mass Ave, there's not a lot before it starts to curve up into Cambridge, but that curve is a little bit less crazy than that. Let's do a little landscaping. CS2 console fall 2026. I want it to be good. I want to like go start this up again and have some fun and feel creative with some new tools. Like doing it with the new road tools will be awesome, but the rest of the game that is attached to it, unfortunately, is not worth your time or money at the moment. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. In the meantime, let's make it so we don't have to cross a bridge here. We'll do that. Larger smoothing now. Okay, so back over here. I guess, I mean, we could bring, where are we going to bring transport? We're going to bring transport around the MIT campus. I don't think we need to bring it to the left over here, though. So we'll just do regular 4-lane roads. Off to the left. There will be sports arena, but we can put like a stop right up here. Right above that. And actually, come to think of it, let's use this road back here before we finish to do a quick look at the size of the stuff we're going to want to build in. So on schools, sports, we definitely want the track and field. It's a shame that that doesn't also have a football field in the middle because that's what is here. I don't think we need a football stadium in Boston. I think we're going to call it good enough with that. Now, we do want some baseball, but they're practice fields, so we're not going to do a full stadium there. And we could probably do one arena. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do one arena. Do we like the aquatics? I kind of like the look of the aquatics better, so let's do that. It's simple, and then if we come to uniques, is that where the baseball stadiums and stuff are? These have the practice fields? Like, what do we have here? Where are they? Are they in like... Are they in here? Yeah, they are. What is this? I mean, we could do something stupid like this. None of them have safety walls, though. It's so unfortunate. Let's do this. We'll get one of these in there. You know what? We'll do two of these. This is a little soccer field. We'll probably do two of those. And then do we do the 12 tennis courts? Or is that too much? We saw that it's actually the number of tennis courts that MIT has. It might be fun just to see what those look like. Let's bring this out straight until it looks dangerous. Probably right about there. Then we'll curve it up. Maybe something like that. I'm not entirely sure what that ends at, but we'll probably bring this road terminate around there. Oh, this will actually connect. This will connect up to the highway. So we'll figure that part out in a bit because that highway isn't even coming through here. It's more about framing this out first. Okay, let's see here. If we go for realism, there's 12 tennis courts. Let's see. What if we do 8? We'll do 4, a path, and 4. Or should we do 4, a road, and 4? Maybe 4, a road, and 4? Let's see. And then can we move this down a little bit? Okay, we could do that. Can we connect this straight through? Just right on the back of the tennis courts. $12 courts or nothing? Oh, we do another 3. We'll do another 3. I won't do 6 and 6. We'll change up the flow a little bit here. Okay, no, wait, never mind. You're right. You're right. This is New Boston. We can't skimp on tennis courts. Can we get 2 more in here though? Probably not. I'm gonna have to move that other road. Ugh. How far over can we get these? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. It won't let me put that next one there. Okay, we're doing the ridiculous 12 courts because you're right. Of all the things not to do for realism. Uh-oh, we're gonna have to straighten out this road. We need more shoreline. We can't start curving this road yet. Oh no! No, don't fail me now, terrain. Come on, Charles River. Here, we'll do what Boston of old did, and we're gonna pile up some garbage here. So we can keep building the road out this way. Okay, let's see if it remembers stupidly that there was terrain there before. Oh, look, it does! I willed it. I willed it. YouTube featured. Okay, hello, welcome. How you doing, Sin? Look at this. I literally was just joking, like, I wonder if it will do the stupid glitch where it remembers that there was terrain there. And sure enough, just trying to build a straight road on the ground, it's like, you meant to build a tunnel here, right? Actually, no. No, not at all. This is flat road. That's what it wants to do on the ground level. Are you kidding me? This is why I'm saying, like, they could do new road tools, AC. You think they're going to break this more? I don't think they're going to break this more by giving us more flexible road tools. I'm pretty sure it's broken enough. Okay. Okay, no big deal. It should be fine. Let's take the terrain down and put it back up, and then sometimes it realizes that, oh, there doesn't need to be a tunnel here. You son of a... So, like, if I go to connect this now, is it going to tunnel it? It's fine with that. I mean, I guess it's not fine with that, but it's... Why? Why? It's better than it was with the tunnel. But come on. I gotta save my game more often, huh? Okay, let's get the tennis courts out of here for a minute. We got 6. We get the first 6. We're building MIT. They do have 12 tennis courts. We're going for realism. What? Oh, I thought it was going to let me go, but it's not. AC, you were saying you didn't want them to break this? I mean, this game came out beginning of 2020. It's been 3 years this game has been out. 3 years. Fix it any day. No big deal. Any day. Why? Why? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna modify the terrain. We're gonna save the game. We're gonna reload the game. I'm gonna take the terrain down. There's a tunnel under there. Is that what's throwing us off? Because it thought that there was a tunnel piece to connect to? Okay, I'm gonna save it. Let's save over New Boston, not over the 930 million we have in the bank for River Run. I thought it was 920. We're at 930. That is crazy. Okay, saving New Boston over New Boston. Okay, I'm gonna try the road, but it's not gonna work. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. Okay. Let's try and reload. If reloading doesn't work, we'll quit the game and reset the game. And that still probably won't work either. And I'm gonna lose it. Because I just want to put the 12 courts in. I'm not bitter or anything, no. There was a little bit of a rant earlier where I forgot to breathe for about 45 seconds. Should be fine, no? Okay, come on now. Come on, come on. I hope everybody's Saturday as well. I'm sorry for the slow load time. This is installed on a solid state. I've heard other people say they have much faster loads than me. I don't even know what the deal is. It hangs forever. It has since I ran the beta. What up, Blue Egg? Welcome. We're trying to reload to fix a terrain issue. We'll see. It somehow remembers that the old terrain is there and is trying to build the tunnel where it shouldn't. It might be a 4-and-4 tennis courts idea. If we can't make this work, I don't know what to do. I want the tennis courts to line up right with the road, the coastal road. We may have to sacrifice. Okay, put your guesses in. Is it going to work redrawing the road after the load? We haven't quit the game. We're just reloading the game. 12 courts or delete the save. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's not going to be good enough. We might have to delete the save. This is a sad day for New Boston. Okay. The terrain is very flat. Let's confirm. Terrain view. Does terrain show tunnels? Do we have any tunnels in the map? Not yet. Okay, the terrain is perfect. I was gonna say the terrain is perfectly flat here, but I do see a problem. And was that our problem all along? Because I was moving the terrain around so much, there was water and it was making a tunnel under the water? Let's give it a second. Let's give it a second. You've deleted cities for less. Okay, well, maybe. Wait, did I remember seeing something when we were looking at city stats like that? You don't have a large city in remastered, right? Maybe you do in the base game. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. Was there water there the whole time? Is that what the problem was? Let's get 12 tennis courts in because that's what the real MIT has. Are those next to one another? Small trees, big trees. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're back in business. Define large city. I don't know. I think my largest is 230. And that was on the original 9 tiles. Kind of a mess. There were some cool spots if you looked at it from the right angle, but it was kind of a mess. And I'm hoping to get to the point where I build a city that looks cool from everywhere. River Run is my closest, I think, so far. I'm thinking hard about Plainville Remastered. There's so much more DLC to go through as we add on slowly at the end of everything. That could be a fun revisit on a much larger scale. Okay, let's connect this through. Never got over 100K in 9 tiles. Yeah, I did. Season 4 was like a big city build I did to make room for a central park. And it was the first time I partnered with Paradox to do videos. And it was around the Park Life DLC. So they wanted me to do a central park. So I did a massive park in a downtown area, which when you look from the correct angles is great. But on a 9 tile city, there's like this hard edge of the map where there's skyscrapers and just nothing on the other side. And that was always kind of a tough spot to be in on remastered, on the original 9 tiles. They used so limited space. Okay, this music is really, this playlist is a little up and down all over the place. Okay, where were tennis courts? Here? One, two, 3, what? Nope. 4, 5, and 6 to go with the 6 that we already had. 12 tennis courts. Welcome to MIT. Welcome to MIT in Cambridge. Let's run some electricity over here, I guess. Do we do a... This is a little jam. I kind of like this one. Is this loud enough? Can anybody... You can hear this, right? This is a little funky one. I gotta mark this as a favorite. Hold on. Oh, it's Matt Large, of course. It's just nothing but bangers, honestly. So much good music on the platform. And I think you can get a lot of it free on YouTube and Spotify as well. Check out Matt Large. Really good hip hop beats. 70K on the OG with Comfort Room. Yeah, it's just it's so tough on 9 tiles to build a really flowing city without some hard lines. Sorry, I was gonna put down this little bad boy. We can rotate it after the fact if we need to. So what if we had one there? Well, that won't spread, will it? How close is that electricity bubble? Not close enough, huh? So one more across the way. Like if we did one right there. Will that spread power? Yep. Okay, and then how does that end up looking? Not terrible. We could rotate these after if we want them a certain way, but that kind of fits. A little electrical shed here and there. Where is the line if we want to keep it on a grid? Because I think this is going to be the edge here. The beltway is going to come up through this way around the campus into the middle of this peninsula here, across into the airport and intersect with that highway, which will come under the water over here to come up here and connect to this beltway. Now, if you're familiar with Boston, some of it may look familiar, some of it may not. This is the 695 beltway that never happened, but this time we're going to build it before we have to move a bunch of people out. So I was explaining earlier, a lot of research has gone into this, including a couple books specific to the highway expansion, and then people fighting against the 695 beltway, which the anniversary of that protest is coming up January 25th, 1969. That fought against the expansion of the 695 beltway, which does not exist. They won. But that's this essentially here. I don't know if I'm going to do BU and BC, but if we do 2 more college campuses, it'll probably be them. Or maybe possibly Simmons, where my wife is getting her master's, which is also in Boston. Holy industrial demand. Yeah. We're not really working on demand. We're working on the look. Okay. We've got to bring this over for sure. That's a funky little fake saxophone. Let's bring this. No, I didn't mean to zoom in on it. I meant to bring it down here. We're here for vibes, not for demand. It's a shame the vibes are so atrocious then. Some days I'm feeling horrendous on the vibe front. Can we get this in here? And then maybe some footpaths around it? I don't even know. Do we put it on top up here? And then bring that road through? Highway up here. We'll have the major connector this way. We have one on this side of the river in Boston. We'll have one right there in Cambridge. Or maybe we bring it up a little more so it's not so close and it becomes central, or it just curves up through here and the Cambridge exit ends up being somewhere over here. That could work too. All right. Bring these in. So we got a couple soccer fields we want over here. Look at that traffic. Everybody's like, I'm going this way to the tennis courts. Tennis courts are so freaking popular. They love them. Look at the traffic lining up for them. I got to look at roads and stuff too. So there were two baseball parks here. Can we fit all this in this block? Probably not, right? It's way too tight. And do we have different configurations like that, or do we just go with multiple of these? I feel like we just go with multiple of these. And then do we have 2 baseball stadiums? Is 2 baseball enough? We can't bring this down here, right? Okay, so what if we bust this road? Hold on a second, everybody. Hold your horses on the traffic there. Can we do this and then come up way after the building? Okay, we'll break that, but we're connecting other buildings, so we should be okay. So if I do that and then curve this up there. It's just so weird that there's no outfield fences on these. Like, why, my man? Why? The grass is neatly manicured. They just forgot to put up the fences and then the protective barrier. I've complained about this a lot, but if for those of you from maybe from other parts of the world that don't know baseball, if you're sitting here and there is not a wall here, a screen protecting you, you will die. So, someone back here during a game, if you were sitting in one of these seats during an actual game of baseball, a ball will get missed by the catcher, a ball will get fouled straight back. Like, this is the death zone. There's a reason that there is fences all over now. There's netting like considerably more of the park than there was years ago, but absolutely behind home plate. Like, all you needed to do was drag the same fence objects through there, like, and like over here, like sitting right here, like this is foul ball, prime foul ball territory, death. You don't want to sit, you don't want benches here. This is somebody somebody designed this doesn't know the game of baseball. Doesn't know the dead zones, or literal death zones, I should say. Okay. Too intense, all over the place. What do we got? What do we got left? I'd like to bring the arena down into this. So maybe we do this. We'll connect a road around the tennis courts. Ooh, or you know what? We hook this in better. So we'll do that. Where's this highway going to be? Right about there. Okay, so that's actually not too bad. Let's see what we can do to bring this road in. So if we do that. We can't do that. So I guess we'll have to make that work. And then this can come up this way and connect over. Something like that. How is it that zoning doesn't break like in CS2? Like that just works. That's totally fine. That grid works. Try that in CS2. Those grids will not line up. I don't know how they got that part wrong. Plus you know which direction you're gonna run. Yeah. But baseball is like my favorite sport to watch because it doesn't take a commitment and the stress is more spread out. Like I get on frickin' edge. I can't, my anxiety cannot handle sporting events for the most part. I get edgy and upset. I don't care for football at all. Football is the sport that I care about the least, at least the four majors in the US. Basketball is my jam. I wish I could still play it. I get down on a game of horse. That's about it. My hips and knees and now ankles are pretty shot. I was talking to one of the guys that I work with. We were talking about basketball. He's like, I haven't played in years. Like you could probably beat me. And I was like, no, I'll give you my secret. Just go to your right because I literally cannot pivot left with my hip. So those days are done. But basketball was my jam. I was a power forward in high school. Played lacrosse goalie. If I could skate, I definitely would have played hockey goalie for sure. Never learned. Never played baseball, but love to watch it. And football is just the bane of like I don't have cable TV anymore, but like I had such disdain for football because it ruined Sports Center 45 weeks of the year. Like they're talking about Sports Center football on Sports Center in like March. Like you have the Super Bowl, you got the Pro Bowl, they take like 2 weeks off and then they're like, they should be talking about spring training. They should be talking about basketball and hockey. It's like, oh, no, but preseason games are only 5 months away. Like, who gives a shit? Dude, talk about the seasons that are happening right now, please. I always hated how much they overcommitted to that. Anyways, I overcommitted to that. Oh man, who watches Northern Lion? Not just me. I caught 100 clips of Northern Lion, and honestly, I'm brain broken from one of the most disturbing things on stream that I heard, and I'm just like, I don't even think I can repeat it. I was watching 100 clips, you know, like 100 best clips of the year, enjoying it just fine. And then he basically posed a would you rather, and like I cannot, like, it's just so horrible. And I hesitate to even bring it up. And I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna take it there. But look at 100 clips of Northern Lions and see if you can figure out the one that I stopped and I was like, no, I can't watch this anymore. I can't have these thoughts in my head. NFL draft is happening in Pittsburgh this year. All the more reason not to care. I don't know. I just like NFL is not my thing. Like I don't like, there's way too much time spent talking about it in sports circles for a couple hour game on a Sunday. I'm not saying they don't work hard. I'm not saying they should be playing every day, but like, we don't need to be talking about it every day. Maybe talk about it the day before, game day, game after. But like, oh, but there's Monday night football and Thursday night football and Friday night football and holiday games. Okay, so talk about the highlights from that one game and then move on. You don't need to devote half an hour of Sports Center to football programming 45 weeks a year. It just like it's not, it doesn't seem fair or transactional to the amount of effort that basketball and hockey players especially put in. Oh, this whole time, do we have other universities going on here? No students. It's because of this guy. We don't have the university. We have the university boost. Disable university boost. No, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to come down here and disable university boost. Do you like, I mean, it's just like, you have to be a Steelers fan, right? Like, there's no other option. Don't tell me you got a green jersey on in Pittsburgh. What can we condense in here? Can we bring this up into one of those little courtyard areas? It's not too bad. Where can this one fit? There's no way that the we'll do that for right now. There's no way this fits in the center courtyard, right? Oh, it's close. Look at that. If it wasn't a 4-lane road, I think it would fit. That's such a shame. Okay, well, can we put it in? We can put it in directly behind it, though. Okay, we're not going to have the roads come through, but maybe we can have the roads connect east to west. Right, and then that can't go up on either side, right? Oh, it can go up on that side. That could be all right. That works. Okay, we got a bunch of small buildings. Actually, before I commit a bunch of small buildings, what do we have that needs space? The media lab. Can we do that on this block right here? That works. Do we pull it down and make the corner where the kind of campus headquarters, the administration building, make this a little bit tighter over here, I think? We need a little touch over here of something. Let's look at, what do we got? It's probably easier to find it this way. It's the trade school paths. We're going to do with trees. We'll bring it up here. And then let's turn off grid so that we can go turn off road guidelines as well. And then we could do this right up the middle. Really? Okay, well, if they're going to be jerks about it. Okay, and we're going to also turn off road length. And then let's turn back on the grid and see if we can get this to snap. So we'll come in 3. So there. Let's go to trees. What do we have? Well, that's not trees. This is trees. Can we do like a little Norway spruce? How would those look on the... Oh, those are way too big. That's unfortunate. Even the redwoods know to grow smaller than that. Where are the redwoods? This one? I actually kind of like how the redwoods look on the small paths. Because the actual redwood itself is that big. So the baby redwoods are kind of a thing you don't see a lot. I don't think they're necessarily out of place. Okay, I did want to bring this down here. I get so sidetracked. So maybe right here. And then a bunch of little buildings, but we still need to find a spot for the commencement. That won't fit. Oh, I was going to say it won't fit next to this, will it? But it sure enough will. That's actually not too bad. It's a shame there isn't like a path coming to connect over here, but I can deal with that. And then can we get a couple of these smaller buildings? What is this one? The beach volleyball club? That won't fit. Ooh, it will fit right there. This playlist is all over the place. I gotta go through and filter this one down a little bit better because there's some jams in here, but there's also a lot of weird trap beats that I'm just not feeling, at least not tonight. trade school library. I'm definitely going to play around with where some of these buildings sit for sure. Because the library should be probably more... Let's put this up here. We'll put some of the little buildings up on this side. Because I want to bring the library back down here. The bookstore, I mean, we're robbing them blind for the books, so we may as well make them walk a little bit to get to the bookstore too. Like, convenience is not really what school bookstores are all about. Or maybe, I mean, it is kind of a matter of convenience, because conveniently you need the books really badly, so come sign over your home to afford them. My wife was able to save some on rental books. So they rent books out and then they eventually sell them, and they're in, because they have to be returned in good shape for the rent. Like, I think you get like a deposit back or something, that it encourages people to take better care of them. So they were like pretty pristine shape, honestly. Better than the books that I was showing earlier on stream that I got used for the rites of passage was a little bit moldy. Couple tiny spots that we were concerned about. Hit it with the Clorox and dried it out, and it seems to be okay. I am allergic, unfortunately. What are we thinking? How do we feel? MIT, we're gonna tweak some buildings and move some stuff around, but so we come across from the south side of Back Bay on Mass Ave. And just to the right of there is the main kind of headquarters campus area and all the buildings and schools and stuff. And off to the left side of Mass Ave is some baseball fields, track and field. There's soccer. We could probably put a couple more soccer fields in here. We've got a little aquatics arena and 12 tennis courts. You may think I'm being extreme, but actually, no. I'm being hyper realistic. Where's our real world? There we go. So this is, again, this is kind of what we just showed down here at the south side of the Back Bay. The grid neighborhood is Mass Ave. And that comes right through here to the right side. And I've got to do like this little kind of, I want to do this little underpass, bring this over, have the small roads by the coast. Like, we will get to some of that eventually. But you got the main campus area, you've got all your school buildings, and then over here you've got multiple baseball, multiple soccer, lacrosse. We'll do a little courtyard or something, but there's the 12 tennis courts. We were 12 tennis courts or bust. We had to reload the save to make it happen. Oh, here, actually, hold on. Let's see if I can get a good angle. Let's zoom out a little bit and see the city so far. So this is Boston. Let's see if I can get a similar angle on something kind of like that. If we go back and forth. It's not, you know, we're not 1-to-1, but we're doing a pretty good job. I think. I'm happy with it. This is New Boston. I think it's time for me. So I was explaining earlier that it has been a rough couple weeks mood-wise. I've been feeling great for about a year, and went into a little bit of a hypomania for the first time in a long time, bipolar 2 wise. And like, just, I'm kind of crashing from that. My energy levels are way down. I've been wanting to stream and then just feeling totally burned out by the end of the day. It's such a weird feeling. Being super passionate and excited about streaming that night and then being completely spent by like 6 o'clock. But I got through today. Small steps, baby steps. Baby steps in New Boston. We got a college campus going at MIT. I'm having a fun time with this build. You know what? I kind of feel I just want to show it real quick. One, I want to save before I forget. Two, I think I should load up before we go to show you where we'll be next. Which will be River Run for sure. 930 million in the bank. I don't even know what to do when we hit 1 billion. Actually, I do. We're gonna drop a bunch of disasters. If you've been here for a while, it's gonna be like 1030 perpetually once we hit 1 billion. If you know, you know. 10:30 p.m. is a crazy time on the stream. Historically. We about to be billionaires, right? I know it's a dated meme, but I gotta show the city in the background with a budget and Dr. Evil biting his pinky. $1 billion. I was just so excited to see, because like part of me, I wasn't sure. I don't know that I've ever seen it. I've never seen personally $1 billion in the console UI. So I was worried at first that it might just roll over and not show that number in game. But when I got to 900 million, the city treasury graph or budget graph, whatever, city value, I think it's, what is it, treasury? That has 1 billion listed now at the top of the graph. And the way that it spills into the graph is beautiful, because I can't wait to overlap the billion way into the 100,000 plus we're making per period. It's just gonna be fun to see, I think. And I'm excited to see that number actually display in game, because I didn't know. Based on like the graph itself, they don't expect you to go to 100 million. Like tens of millions is a thing that they expected in the UI. They didn't expect hundreds of millions, and they certainly didn't expect $1 billion in the bank. Yeah, it's like, I know I stopped creating any kind of content for a while. I need to apologize. I only did 3 videos last year. Like, what happened? Dustin, it's good, which is why I'm streaming. It hadn't been for the last couple weeks. I've just been feeling very run down, mood wise. I was explaining earlier, my bipolar 2, which I discovered like 2 years ago, has been under very good management for over a year, and like something just stopped working, and the last couple weeks have been tough. Not needing any sleep and then crashing at the end of that week. So maybe too much information for the simple "how is your day" question, but I'm honest around here, an info dump. So that's where we're at. But I'm feeling good because I'm here and I'm streaming. Otherwise I would not be. We did a bunch of building in New Boston tonight. We did some new work on the campus at MIT. But now that we're outroing, look at the money right now. 930 million plus 100,000 in the period. Like, we're already overlapping. Put another comma and a 1 there. That's where we're going to be sometime next week. So let me see here. 3 times speed. Let's go just check real quick. City info. This is what I'm talking about. Look at the city treasury. And look at how $1 billion bleeds into the chart. Like, you can see like the $100 million bleeds into the chart the way it tries to display. This graph was never meant for you to have $100 million in the bank of your city, not to mention 1,000 times that, which we're going to hit pretty soon. So this is River Run. There's no cheats on this one. This is just straight up console, unmodded. Of course, we've got the DLCs and stuff, so we can take advantage of Park Life and Campus, which are very effective money makers. But River Run's one of my favorite cities. It's a 25 tile build on Remastered, and we're going to hit $1 billion maybe Monday. I'm going to try and let it run overnight. I finally got it set up where everything is... There's no more cemeteries. I'm going to put the cemeteries back after we get to $1 billion, because I turned off my power saving features and I'm just like letting it run. So I will be back here on 3 times speed with my controller turned off and my power saving off so that it will just run all night. Hopefully it doesn't crash. I'll probably be around, I don't know, 950, 960 by morning. I'll get it close, and then maybe a Monday night stream perhaps. If not next weekend, I'm gonna try for sure. But 1 billion is coming very soon, and then we can save it and blow it up. And then I'm gonna start tearing apart neighborhood by neighborhood now that I don't care about the money, and redesigning some of it. I am really happy with the way some of it and how it looks, but there's still a lot to go. We'll get there. We'll get there. But the bottom line is, hopefully, if nothing breaks, I should get there in the next 2 days, I would think. So Monday will probably be very close to 1 billion, and we'll do it live on stream. So if you want to see that, stay tuned, subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed. I'm going to take off for now, but I hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed New Boston and this little peek at River Run, which we'll be visiting next. But we'll be heading back to New Boston shortly after that. And then members, I'm committing to it. We're going to do a little behind the scenes documentary. I'll show you some of the stuff I'm working on. It's going to be, I guess, Ken Burns-esque in that there's found footage, there's old pictures. We need to make it look like it's moving and add sound effects and music. And I've been writing a ton, so be interested to know what some people think about the overall structure and the things I'm planning. But there's a Boston documentary, not cities related at all, or not city skylines related, I should say. Definitely related to the city itself, its history, its crazy streets. And I'm trying to structure all that now. So lots of fun stuff coming, and stay tuned for all of that. But I hope you have a rest. I hope you have a rest of your weekend. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I mean, everybody should have a rest of your weekend. Enjoy the entire weekend. Hopefully you do something fun, or build something creative, or get a nap in. Sometimes those are really restorative. Whatever you need, I hope you get it. I hope to see you on the next stream. Until then, though, this is Move the Mouse signing off. I'll see you then. Subscribe so you don't miss it. But then again, subscription feeds suck. So notification bell? Join the Discord? I don't know. tinyurl.com/movethemouse. Love you. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great Saturday, everybody, or Sunday if it already is. And hopefully you got a long weekend here in the U.S. I know I do, so maybe a Monday night stream. Anyways, I'm done rambling. I'm out. And it's a trap song. Why? Why? No, better outro. Nope. 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 And apparently that's the end of the playlist because I keep hitting next and it won't move. Okay, here's our outro. Perfect. See you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Enjoy your evening, and be good to yourself. Remind me to knock down those buildings with the CS2 logos.